Hey guys, HDvee here and welcome to a brand new video. Today we've got some pretty cool things to go over. More Pokemon Generation 10 Wind and Wave rumors have appeared. We have some Generation 5 remake hints and then some Switch 2 stuff to go over as well. A lot of things to break down today. So if you're excited for the video, drop a like down below. Let's try to hit 500 likes. It really helps out. Leave a comment, subscribe if you're brand new, and let's get into the video. So, starting things off, let's take a look at the Generation 5 hints and stuff. We've got Soul Silver talking about this a little bit, saying, alright, who wants to hype up Pokemon Black and White remakes for Pokemon Day 2025 again? Who's with me? Again, this is something that can happen. The only reason why we didn't think it was going to happen was because Riddler Q said it, and he's been wrong about everything. So, I think they're back on the table now. But either way, Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee's code name was Beluga, BDSP's code name was Delphis, and Ilka's name, Iruka, sounds like dolphin in Japanese. This is a Black and White Dolphin. There are a million connections and teasers to Black and White and Scarlet and Violet, Legends EA, X and Y, the TCG, and more. But also, we know from decently credible sources that someone has been working on a Black and White game since at least 2023. We just don't know when it's coming. Could be this year or push back to after Generation 10 like everyone assumes. Either way, I can totally see what the post I quote below is suggesting. Black and White for Switch to reveal on Pokemon Day 2025, oh boy. Which could also happen, I guess. It could be the first Pokemon game that drops on the Switch 2. And it could be announced on Pokemon Day. Now that the Switch 2 has been announced, they can really just reveal anything for it. But of course, we have also got Pyoro saying that he thought we were going to get a Pokemon Black and White remake announced last Pokemon Day. So the fact that people have been working on it for 2023, Pyoro thought that as well. Again, he didn't say it was definitely going to happen, so it didn't hurt his credibility. He said he's heard about it, and so he thought it was going to get announced, but obviously it didn't. So, like, someone's working on a Black and White remake, and Pyoro has recently reconfirmed that he had heard information about it. So I don't think it was scrapped because we didn't hear anything about it in the Terra League. So I don't know. I feel like it could potentially get announced this year. I know a lot of people want to see Black and White remakes announced this year. And I think it's just back on the table, personally. I think, again, I'm not here saying it's definitely going to happen at all. Probably not going to happen because, obviously, Legends EA is the main kind of game they're going to want to promote this year. But you never know, like, they could drop it for after Legends EA comes out. You know, Legends EA could come out in the summer, and then maybe Black and White Remakes comes out on the Switch 2 in November. Something like that. You never know. But we also have this to go over as well from Soul Silver saying, oh yes, by July, Pokemon Legends EA will be reasonably close to releasing, if it hasn't already released. If my Black and White remake theories for late 2024, early 2025 happen, this would line up so well. So also looks like Pokemon Friender couldn't leave Kyurem out, and it's releasing it alongside Zekrom and Reshiram too. The only thing is, you have to remember that a lot of the hints for Black and White remakes this year are probably just nods to the fact that it's its 15th anniversary, which again is why there's so much Black and White merch this year, you know, in the TCG and everything. It's mainly because it's his 15th anniversary. So it's that line that you don't want to step over, that is it a hint for a remake or is it just celebrating the anniversary? But then at the same time, it was Johto's 25th anniversary last year and we got literally nothing. So why did Johto get nothing for the 25th anniversary and then Black and White is getting all this for the 15th anniversary? Why is Black and White getting all the treatment? It doesn't really make sense. We're obviously, like I say, getting the TCG merch and stuff. Black Bolt and White Flare are releasing July. It's definitely food for thought. It's definitely something to think about. Do I think it's going to happen? I hope, but because Legends EA is the game that they're kind of promoting, I don't think it will. I don't know. I really don't know. I'm just giving you the news, giving my opinion on it. I think there's a lot of things to suggest it, but it is also the 15th anniversary, so you have to kind of keep those expectations to a minimum. But if we do get something announced for it, I don't think it'd be like the craziest shock because obviously there's so much stuff kind of supporting that idea. Anyway, though, that's the Black and White stuff that I wanted to go over. Moving on, we have a few things to go over here regarding the Switch 2. Now, this was posted a while ago on the 9th of January, only getting around to it, but it is still talking about different companies that are basically going to be making games for the Switch 2 that it's basically been leaked. So we've got Go Nintendo tweet here saying a French retailer adds Switch 2 listings, including a Take-Two game. So this was before the actual Switch 2 was revealed. But it says French retailer adds Switch 2 listings, including multiple games. So it says just yesterday we saw GameStop's internal system and multiple SKUs for Switch 2 related products. The listings included a bunch of accessories and more, but today those listings have been updated to say dummy SKU. Of course, the damage is already done, and Nintendo fans around the world are already well aware of what's going on. So not to be upstaged, a second retailer has also added some Switch 2 listings to their internal system. So French retailer Fnac has seen their database updated with multiple placeholders for the Nintendo Switch 2 itself, but no specifics for the system are mentioned. It's not clear why there are at least 5 separate listings for the hardware, but it likely has something to do with retailer-related bundles and not multiple SKUs from Nintendo. So most interesting is the listing of software for the Switch 2. So there was one single SKU added for a game from Take-Two, but the listing doesn't reveal what the game actually is. So Take-Two has all sorts of big name franchises under its umbrella, including GTA, Civilization, Borderlands, NBA, WWE, Red Dead, the list goes on and on. It's really no surprise to learn that Take-Two is supporting the Switch 2, as they brought a considerable amount of content to the Switch. Hopefully in the near future we learn all about the Switch 2 from Nintendo, and Take-Two gives official details on their software. And then we had an update to this as well, saying Fnac has even more Switch 2 game listings. Again, we don't know the games, but we do have the dev publishers. You can see the breakdown below, and the number denotes how many separate listings there are. So Bethesda are bringing 3 games to the Switch 2. Electronic Arts are bringing 4 games to the Switch 2. You can probably guess what those are going to be. It's going to be EA Sports, FC, it'll probably be like NBA, stuff like that. 2 are coming from Bandai Namco, 5 are coming from Square Enix, 2 are coming from Take-Two Interactive, and then 2 are coming from Warner Bros. Games. So there's further speculation that 3 of the titles from publishers above include EA Sports FC, as I just said, Tekken 8 and Red Dead Redemption 2, and that's based on various numbers tied to the listings. Again, take that as speculation for now. So that's 4, 7, 9, 14, 18 games that are also going to be coming to the Switch 2, or they're at least going to get like revealed probably in April. Like, we don't know how long this Direct's going to be in April, but it's like, dude, they're dropping so many like rumors for these games and stuff. So you'd think it'd be relatively long to fit everything in it. And then there's the main titles as well from Nintendo themselves. But anyway, it sounds like a lot of juicy content is going to be coming to the Nintendo Switch 2. And then we also have this post from Cabby here saying Final Fantasy VII Remake showing up at the April Nintendo Direct will be so hyped. So again, Nate reconfirming that I reported that Final Fantasy VII Remake and Rebirth would also come to the Switch 2 in the same video as mentioning the Xbox releases. Remake is 2025 and Rebirth is 2026. And again, that's probably one of the Square Enix games, or 2 of the Square Enix games they're listed. So a lot of Switch 2 stuff kind of going on behind the scenes. Very exciting times. Cannot wait for that Direct. It's going to be an absolute monster of a Direct, showcasing loads and loads of new, really, really cool games. Anyway, though, that's all that. Finishing things off today, though, we have another rumor to go over about Pokemon Generation 10 apparently being called Pokemon Wind and Pokemon Wave. This is just getting so much traction now. Like, everybody thinks these games are going to be called Pokemon Wind and Wave. I don't think these are the actual box arts. These are obviously just mock-ups, because it says the Nintendo Switch. It doesn't say the Switch 2 in the top left. Again, it could be for the Switch, but you'd like to think it's going to be for the Switch 2. But these are definitely like fan arts. You can expect these to just be mock-ups. So they've obviously used that as the image, but they say Pokemon Wind and Pokemon Wave Gen 10. Again, waves and winds. It doesn't sound right. Has to be Pokemon Wind and Wave in my opinion. Winds and waves just doesn't hit as much as just wind and wave. But again, this was posted on 4chan. Take it with a massive grain of salt. It was posted on the 29th of January, so a few days ago now. But again, talking about Pokemon Wind and Wave. Like, we've not even had Legends ZA yet, and there's so many Gen 10 hints. Now, we know a little bit about it because of the Terra Leak, that it's going to be like an archipelago and stuff of islands. But at the same time, we also don't really know much about it at all. But it looks like it will be dropping 2026 for the 30th anniversary. That makes the most sense. But either way, it says Pokemon Wind and Wave Generation 10. So it's set in the Lefteria region? I don't know how to pronounce that. Lefteria, a region based on Greece. Again, a lot of people are expecting this game to be based in Greece or around Greece or whatever. I think it'd be the best place to drop it, because obviously you have all the Greek mythology, you have all the gods and stuff that they could base Pokemon on. And there's just so many islands that you could easily traverse to. Again, I'd love it if it was a Wind Waker sort of vibe, but every island was just big. So you kind of just have a boat, or you have your own little ship, and then you just kind of go to whatever island you want. So it's completely open world. And then there's different Pokemon on different islands. There's Pokemon in the water and stuff. But all these islands are like massive with their own gyms and stuff. I think that would just be such a good game, because it'd just be massive. And I think for the Switch 2, it has to be the biggest Pokemon game we've ever had, because it's Generation 10. It's the 30th anniversary. They have to knock it out the park. It says gameplay consists of traveling between many islands. Oh, I like Wind Waker. I didn't even read that bit. But yeah, I mean, that would, like I say, it'd just be so good. I think it'd be just I don't know, maybe it's just because I'm a massive Wind Waker fan, but being able to go to whatever island you want, and there being like different Pokemon, and if there was level scaling, it'd be so good, because you could literally just go to wherever you want, catch whoever you want, and every playthrough would just be like fully different. I don't know if they'll ever introduce level scaling. They didn't in Scarlet and Violet, even though you could have challenged them in any order. Hopefully that's the next step. Says similar open-ended structure to Pokemon Scarlet and Pokemon Violet. Says there's approximately 500 Pokemon in the Pokedex, with more to follow post-release. So I assume that's through DLC. But yeah, approximately 500 Pokemon in the Pokedex. So that's not 500 new Pokemon. That'd be like 150 new Pokemon, and then the rest of the Pokedex filled up with, obviously, previous Pokemon generations. I think for me, if they were ever going to bring the National Dex back, it would be in this game, because the Switch 2 would be able to handle it. And they've had a lot of time to work on this game as well. So they're obviously, I assume they're kind of transitioning from the Switch 1 models to the Switch 2 models, and Gen 10 would obviously take all of that in. But yeah, I don't know. At the same time, will we see the National Dex? I don't even want the National Dex. I just want every Pokemon to be available, because the National Dex is just, it just takes so long to complete. Whereas, like, we all know, like, Gen 6, X and Y Auras, National Dex took forever to complete, and now there's so many more new Pokemon. Sun and Moon did it the best, where they have a regional Dex, but every Pokemon is available in the game to transfer in. That's the perfect situation, because it doesn't take forever to complete the Pokedex, but you can just use whatever you want, because all the Pokemon are in the game. That's the perfect situation. I really hope that's what they bring in. But I guess also with DLC, one of the big things about DLC is that they're bringing loads of Pokemon back in. That is one of the selling points. And I know you don't have to buy the DLC to get those returning Pokemon back, but it is something else that they can add to the DLC to be like, you're getting all this content and all these Pokemon are coming back. Whereas if they already had them all in the game, they're like, you're just getting this content. Unless they make the DLC even bigger. That is obviously something they could do to kind of make up for the lack of Pokemon returning. But anyway, that's that. It says start Pokemon. We're going to have Bakudaki, which evolves into Karkuda, and then Ursalisto, which is going to be Grass Fairy. I mean, Fairy's just such a broken typing. I mean, we obviously had it with, like, Primarina and stuff, but Grass Fairy, I mean, I guess it is 4 times weak to poison and stuff, so maybe it wouldn't be that broken. Then we have Ignowana into Magmagama, and then Ascali, which is going to be Fire Steel. And then we're going to have I don't even know how to pronounce that, Spurhilly? Spirospeeder, and then Gastiator, which is going to be Water Fighting. So we do have the sort of trio again. So Fairy's good against Fighting, Fighting's good against Steel, and then Steel's good against Fairy, Water's good against Fire, Fire's good against Grass, and then Grass is good against Water. And then it says the box legendary going to be called Equidon, which is going to be Water and Ground, which I assume would be this kind of Pokemon. And we have Aquilius, which is going to be Electric Flying. Again, this is just fan art, box art, I assume. I don't think this is the actual box art of the games, because it just looks like fan art. And also the text just doesn't look like it. It'd look a lot better than that in the actual game. But yeah, I mean, it's not a massive rumor. They're kind of just going over stuff we already know about, then they're just throwing a couple of things. Like, we know we're going to get 3 starters, but then we're going to get a couple legendaries. 500 Pokemon's a safe bet. And yeah, we know it's an archipelago because of the Terra League, so that's also not crazy. So it's kind of a regurgitated rumor about the information we already know with some added spice and stuff. So yeah, I mean, I don't believe it. I don't think we'll be getting any Gen 10 rumors properly for a while. I mean, we know it's being worked on. Obviously, the Terra Leaker knows about it, so never say never. But at the same time, I think, you know, we'll be getting Legends EA rumors and stuff a lot more frequently than this. But let me know your thoughts on this. Would you like the games to be called Pokemon Wind and Wave? Would you like it to be set in like a Greece-inspired region? And also, would you like it to be Wind Waker themed, where you're in a boat and you kind of go to all the different islands? Let me know your thoughts on that. And also, let me know your thoughts on everything else that we covered today as well. The Nintendo Switch 2 stuff, all these different kind of games coming to the console. And then also, what are your thoughts about Generation 5 remakes as well? Do you think that these are going to be something we're going to be seeing soon? Or do you think it's going to be way out kind of in the future? But anyway, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed, drop a like. Let's try to hit 500. Leave a comment. Subscribe if you're brand new. Ring the notification bell. It's everything from me. Have a fantastic rest of your day. And until next time, peace.